which is your motto.
We call this kind of the Disneyland for the real estate entrepreneur. And
wherever you're thinking today, just 10x it.
Hey everybody, if you like that, there is so much more. I'm gonna wait. Okay, go. It should be done by now.
Mega count. Wow. You have got to understand the truth about real estate. This is a simple freaking business if you let it be. Do the work, it will happen.
Jason Abrams here. Everyone knows that I love to talk. It's a gift, but I also love to listen.
The word millionaire is a placeholder for maximum.
We're having conversations with the best and the busiest.
Balance your time in a fierce way.
The biggest personalities making the biggest impact.
If an elephant's going to appear in the room, put the elephant in the room yourself, and now the elephant is no longer a problem.
The craziest and the coolest.
I got on my horse and sold American greeting cards door to door.
On a horse?
Yeah, on a horse.
It's about passion, strategy, and above all, it's about real, tangible success. How many homes is your team going to sell this year?
My expansion team will sell about 1,700, 1,800.
Buckle up. This is the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Podcast, available on Apple, Google, Spotify, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Want to weather the storm. We want to come out the other side winning.
I agree with you 100%.
Three, two, one, go team! There we go.
It's literally a series, a micro series of 7 days of understanding and thinking of yourself and seeing things differently.
It's an experience, and it's about learning more about who you are. You can't help but just become a better you.
I've been here and I've been a part of this, there's so much more that affects your business that you don't think about.
The goals that we set, I mean, it's just priming to be the best version of yourself.
I
can see how they get their numbers. I've already got 2 just doing the daily affirmation calls.
Before Bold, my goal was to have 100K in GCI. After Bold, I'm almost doubling that amount.
If you actually want to sell more real estate, figure out a way to get into Bold.
I will 100% take Bold every year till the day I die.
If you're not checking out Market Snapshot, this is the month you can fix that by subscribing and making sure that you watch it each month. Whether you want to share it with your clients or share it with your sphere and then have powerful conversations behind it, it will serve you to be on top of the market and know how to interpret the national market to your local one. And what's great is at Market Snapshot, we believe in the power of a real estate agent. We believe in the power of a local advisor. We're going to be telling the people that you're sending to the show to make sure that they talk to their local real estate advocate and consultant to make sure they're interpreting the national news in an appropriate way for the neighborhood they want. So the only source of real estate news you should be looking at as a realtor is Market Snapshot.
We are going to make goals,
Focus
on focusing on models,
time block.
back to basics. Gosh, I can't take notes fast enough. That's pretty awesome. We have the best in industry on each topic.
Everybody.
Empower them to have the best success that they can possibly have.
That's phenomenal growth.
Success is so crucial.
Everybody.
Build an environment where success lives.
You want to make more money, have more time, click here.
Subscribe, like, comment so that more people can find this great content.
To me, the magic words in real estate, this is what happens next.
We are a learning-based company.
Like it, share it.
Subscribe now, like, and share.
Giving back is at the core of what a lot of people want to do. And if they can give back while attending a lit, amazing party with delicious food and meeting new people, it makes it that much better.
Subscribe now.
Hit the like button.
Capture more leads.
Everything you need is at your fingertips.
Please subscribe, like, and share. Be a part of our KW YouTube community.
Everybody has bought and sold. I'm like, really? Everybody you know has bought and sold.
Something that's fun, that gets people to take a second look.
Post on Facebook 10 times a week.
We had another model moment.
You need to tell people how you're winning.
The technology is supporting our efforts, not leading our efforts.
Every agent is posting, oh, inventory's up and all this and doom and gloom. I'm going, hey, there were 7,200 homes sold last month in the Phoenix market.
Right. Right.
There's this pressure to have omnipresence, be everything to everyone all the time. I'm a believer that that is not possible.
I gotta hit pause. You're throwing a lot of value, which is your motto.
It's pretty sweet.
We call this kind of the Disneyland for the real estate entrepreneur. And
whatever you're thinking today, just 10x it.
Hey everybody, if you like that, there is so much more. I'm gonna wait. Okay, go. It should be done by now.
Mega count. Wow. You have got to understand the truth about real estate. This is a simple freaking business if you let it be. Do the work, it will happen.
Jason Abrams here. Everyone knows that I love to talk. It's a gift, but I also love to listen.
The word millionaire is a placeholder for maximum.
We're having conversations with the best and the busiest.
Balance your time in a fierce way.
The biggest personalities making the biggest impact.
If an elephant's going to appear in the room, put the elephant in the room yourself, and now the elephant is no longer a problem.
The craziest and the coolest.
I got on my horse and sold American greeting cards door to door.
On a horse?
Yeah, on a horse.
It's about passion, strategy, and above all, it's about real, tangible success. How many homes is your team going to sell this year?
My expansion team will sell about 1,700, 1,800.
Buckle up. This is the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Podcast, available on Apple, Google, Spotify, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Want to weather the storm. We want to come out the other side winning.
I agree with you 100%.
Three, two, one, go team! There we go.
It's literally a series, a micro series of 7 days of understanding and thinking of yourself and seeing things differently.
It's an experience, and it's about learning more about who you are. You can't help but just become a better you.
I've been here and I've been a part of this, there's so much more that affects your business that you don't think about.
The goals that we set, I mean, it's just priming to be the best version of yourself.
I can see how they get their numbers. I've already got 2 just doing the daily affirmation calls.
Before Bold, my goal was to have 100K in GCI. After Bold, I'm almost doubling that amount.
If you actually want to sell more real estate, figure out a way to get into Bold.
I will 100% take Bold every year till the day I die.
If you're not checking out Market Snapshot, this is the month you can fix that by subscribing and making sure that you watch it each month. Whether you want to share it with your clients or share it with your sphere and then have powerful conversations behind it, it will serve you to be on top of the market and know how to interpret the national market to your local one. And what's great is a Market Snapshot, we believe in the power of the real estate agent. We believe in the power of a local advisor. We're going to be telling the people that you're sending to the show to make sure that they talk to their local real estate advocate and consultant to make sure they're interpreting the national news in an appropriate way for the neighborhood they want. So the only source of real estate news you should be looking at as a realtor is Market Snapshot.
We are going to make goals,
Focus
on
focusing on models. Time block.
back to basics. Gosh, I can't take notes fast enough. That's pretty awesome. We have the best in industry on each topic.
Everybody.
Empower them to have the best success that they can possibly have.
That's phenomenal growth.
Process is so crucial.
Everybody.
Build an environment where success lives.
You want to make more money, have more time, click here.
Subscribe, like, comment so that more people can find this great content.
To me, the magic words in real estate, this is what happens next.
We are a learning-based company.
Like it, share it.
Subscribe now, like, and share.
Giving back is at the core of what a lot of people want to do. And if they can give back while attending a lit, amazing party with delicious food and meeting new people, it makes it that much better.
Subscribe now. Hit the like button.
Capture more leads.
Everything you need is at your fingertips.
Please subscribe, like, and share. Be a part of our KW YouTube community.
Hello, 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 hello. Ladies and gentlemen, what time of day are we? We are still morning, I believe, so that would mean good morning to all of you. And what's fun about environments like this, it's just like what happens in many of your environments. You know, like an open house where you have no idea how many people are going to show up? That's where we're at right now, right? Because everybody's got places to be, not sure where they're at, not sure that they know where they're going, trying to be able to figure out where they are. So if there's somebody that you know that should be here that is not here, those of you that are here right now, will you pull your phones out for me and maybe put some magic words to work straight away and just type a message that says something like, I'm not sure if it's for you, but how open-minded would you be to joining us here in the room that CEO Summit is, that I can't remember the name, but one of you will figure that out. And see who wants to be here for one of the most impactful, meaningful, practical, tactical, applicable programs that we're running here at the time. What I also know, though, is in all the inspiration, information that has been shared with you in our time together here at Family Reunion, the thing that makes this information useful is application. It's how you choose to carry this forward back into your roles, into your worlds, into your life, and make that work for you to be able to deliver you more of the right kind of results. And what I'm intrigued to understand just as we kick off is show of hands here. Who's read my tiny little book, Exactly What to Say? Yeah, woo! You do not get a round of applause for reading a book that you can read cover to cover in 72 minutes. It's what you choose to be able to do with the information inside that book that makes you insanely more powerful in the conversations that matter. And what I'm intrigued to do in our time here together today is to remind you of a quote that came from the great Mark Twain, that Mark Twain said, if I had more time, I'd have written a shorter letter. See, the challenge with writing a tiny, massive book that you can read cover to cover in 72 minutes that has now gone on to sell more than 3 million copies around the world is you leave a lot out. You leave a lot of information out of that work to allow it to be universally accessible to so many people. In our time here together today, we're going to make it insanely practical. Also, this is going to be a workshop. So if you've been to a workshop in the past, you've learned that workshops work better with rules, correct? So here be the rules, is if I ask a question, damn, I love an answer. It helps the conversation flow along. Sometimes I might ask questions that just require a yes answer or a no answer. And I need you to know that I know that this means yes, and the shake, I can follow that one too. Occasionally I may ask for a hand up, and ladies and gents, this is a hand up. This is half a hand, and this is when is this dude done? So I tell you, I'm going to run for a solid 75 minutes up here, and we're going to make this conversation count, and we're going to make it count for you. What I also need you to understand is I haven't prepared a great deal for today on purpose, because we're going to dive into what really matters, and we're going to get down here on the floor, and we're going to get gritty on some of the most timely conversations that are showing up in our world as real estate professionals right now in this moment of time. And we're all going to level up our skills in this training room environment. Are you folks ready to go to work? Okay. Who is with me at Mega Camp? Oh, some of you. See, some of you at Mega Camp may have realized that I was on stage and I shared a little joke. What I shared is that oh yeah, that's it. The worst time to think about the thing you're going to say is in the moment when you're saying it. What I'm here to share with you all today, though, is that that was not a joke. I was being deadly serious. How many times do you step away from important conversations in your role as a real estate professional and think shoulda, woulda, coulda? And how many times do you step away from conversations thinking, who on earth was that idiot? With the person you were talking about being oneself. Happens all the freaking time, right? All the freaking time. So we cannot get better at conversation, we cannot get better at communication. We can choose to focus on what I believe to be the most important word up there right now, which, if you're wondering what it is, I put it in bold and I put it in caps for you, right? It's moments. It's not about remembering magic words, it's about mastering the moments that we find ourselves into in a day in, day out basis. So jumping down here for a second, what I'd love to learn is what are some of the most important moments that exist in our world as real estate professionals right now? What are the moments we're looking to master? Lead generation, getting people to actually show up to appointments, listing appointments, initial conversations, engaging with buyers and sellers' commitments. Lee, tell us some more about what you mean about that, and stand up so people can see you when you're talking.
Well, in our business, we have to work with sellers and buyers, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's in getting in relationship.
Yeah.
And really getting to understand their wants and needs and building the relationship and getting the commitment from them and you giving them your commitment to serve them.
Okay. So it's just creating all those micro decisions that exist along the way and helping everybody be bought in on all of the steps.
Correct.
Okay. So these are important moments. What are some of the other moments that we're looking to be able to amplify our success on?
I like just you're meeting somebody at a party for 5 minutes and they ask you, how's the real estate business? As simple as that.
Ah, okay. So we've got like the how's the market question, how's the real estate business, how do you get ready to respond to that? That would be a fairly important moment. What about some of you that are too brave to sit up front so you think you're going to pick the cheap seats back here? What are some of the most important conversations, the moments we're looking to master in your real estate business? What are we talking about getting better at? Objections like what? Like all kinds of objections like,
Why should I hire you as a real estate agent?
so why you as a real estate agent, and what else?
Why should you list my home? Why are you telling me to list it for less? All sorts of stuff. I
All
feel like
sorts.
objections is our business.
It's crazy, right? And we get all these objections, and in the conversation where we get these objections, we're like, I didn't see it coming. Yet we all knew what they were. Have any of you seen the movie 8 Mile with Eminem? In the movie 8 Mile with Eminem, there's a rap battle scene where the Eminem character is particularly concerned that he's going to be trash talked by the other dude, Papa Duck, right? So concerned he's going to be trash talked about what his mum got up to at the weekend, who his girlfriend was hanging out with that wasn't him, the house that he grew up in, where his education came from. So concerned about all these factors and how that would influence his success in the rap battle. What did he do? What he did is he owned the moment. And he put all the information out there up front, leaving the other dude lost for words, creating mic drop moment, controlling the narrative. Now, you are not in the business of winning rap battles. You are, though, in the business of controlling the narrative of conversations, and we need to raise our skill level as real estate professionals so we don't get objections that have us saying, I didn't see it coming. Because I could ask you the list of objections, and you're like, I know this one. And I could ask you, well, how do we prevent those objections showing up? And you go, no idea. No idea. So we get into fights with people, and there's no need to. What are some of the other moments that we're looking to master? We've got objections, we've got how's the market, we've got navigating the steps that we are working our buyers and sellers through and our prospects. What are other moments we're looking to master? Not a trick question. What could they be? Knowing enough so I'm not insecure. Is that a moment or is that a feeling? So in all the moments, what happens is you get all the feelings, right? This is what happens. And what does it do to your level of confidence? Does your confidence go up or down?
Down.
Goes massively down, right?
Right.
So what we think is we have to become more confident in these moments, but we confuse confidence with something remarkably different. We confuse confidence with arrogance. We think that what we need to be is be so sure of ourselves in these moments that what we can do is lead somebody to change. But if you are so sure of yourself, what are you? Thank you. Say that into the microphone so people can hear.
An asshole?
Right. Which isn't what we want to be. We want to be different to that, right? That's not the brand perception we were putting out. That wasn't our one word in the Rory Vaden type focus, right? That's not where we were going. We were looking for different than that. We're not looking for that type of confidence, but a level of confidence that is created from I've been in situations like this before. I've been in situations like this enough times before that I know exactly how this could go, and I'm ready for every version of that. That's the level of confidence we're looking for. So let's just come in on one of these moments for a second, and I wanted to just check the competence of people in the room, because I have an assumption on the competence of people in the room, and I don't want to get this wrong. Let's just take any one of these examples, a really simple moment, like the how's the market question, correct? This is a moment we find ourselves stepping into week in, week out. People ask you how's the market, and Tracy, how do you respond?
The market is doing well. It was a little slow over the holidays, but it's picking up now, and everything is looking great. The interest rates have started to come down, so it's positive.
Okay. And when you respond that way around, how does that work out for you? Okay. So what we've got is we've got another, let's go, how's the market? I ask you, how's the market? You say?
It depends. Are you looking to buy or sell?
Okay, I've got some really simple advice for you. Please don't ever say that again in your life. Like, we're going to stop that. We've got somebody here who's going to have an attempt at this. I'm coming to you second, but here, can you catch?
The market is unbelievable.
The market is unbelievable. There's a great repulsion technique.
What do you mean when you ask how's the market?
What do you mean when you ask how's the market? We get sassy with people. What I'm looking to prove here is we have collective incompetence as an organization, right? Collective incompetence as an industry.
Why do you ask?
What we can do is we can get defensive, right? They say, how's the market? And you say, why do you ask? Can you imagine just somebody chatting with you in the street and say, how are you doing? And you're like, why do you ask? Something as simple as our ability to respond to the how's the market question could change your success in this industry in its entirety. Why did somebody ask you, how's the market? Because they wanted to know. Let's test this for a second. Who has a friend that lives in a different part of the country than they do, where the climate or weather is different? And then you don't speak to that friend very often, but when you do speak to that friend, what question do you ask them? How's the weather? Now, the question I ask of you in this scenario is, do you care? Not one bit. You're just making conversation. Could it be possible that each and every time that somebody is asking you the how's the market question, they were just making small talk? They were quite simply looking to say, well, I don't know much about you, but I know enough to know that you're a real estate agent, and that's something that's important to you. To show you that I know you, I'm going to ask you something about what's important in your life. I'm sad to tell you today that that is probably the most common reason why somebody is asking you, how's the market? So take every one of those responses. How helpful are any of those responses given the reason why somebody was highly likely asking you? Not good, right? Because what they do is they repel. What they do is they show the other person you have one big interest, and that interest is called yourself. And then they think that you're a real estate professional with commission breath, looking to just serve your answers, your response. Coming to this environment right now, particularly being early before the tribes show up, do you want to know how to answer that question differently? Where this could have been worth coming to the seminar as the whole thing. And I don't mean just this seminar, I mean family reunion will be paid for next year and some with how you respond to this. See, we owe people an answer. We do owe them an answer. And I think it's fair to respond without anything that's combative. What you're probably looking for is a one-word answer. I'm going to share a quick story about a friend of mine who owns a brokerage in Detroit. And she was struggling through the pandemic. And she was sharing with me that, Phil, it's crazy right now. Buyers are behaving crazy, and sellers are behaving crazy, and my agents are behaving crazy, and I don't know what to do. I said, what is the question that you're getting asked by many of the people you're dealing with? She said, I'm getting asked the questions, how's the market? I said, how do you answer the question, how's the market? She said, we say it's crazy. I'm like, could it be possible that you are setting the metronome for the behavior of the people in your organization? What Jessica did in this scenario, she purposefully changed the word, made a simple swap for how the one-word answer would show up in our world, and she swapped the word crazy for the word rapid. And in that market that many of you can remember, what that did in that market is it meant people acted with more purpose, more precision. They moved quicker. It changed the game. It wasn't a crazy market, it was a rapid market, and that label was more helpful. Now, we're not necessarily in a rapid market today. But with intention, we can put a one-word answer behind the how's the market question. In today's market, what we're looking to do is to create what's called a curiosity gap. If you're looking to create a curiosity gap, you're going to use a word that's interesting. So you want to look for a word that's interesting, that creates intrigue in the other person when they ask, how's the market? Would you like to know the most interesting word in the planet? It is, in fact, the word interesting. There is no more interesting word than interesting. So when they say, how's the market, could you simply respond and say, yeah, it's interesting right now. Leave some pause and space. Is there any reason you might ask? No challenge, no pushback, not some form of threat towards them, but pulling away and, is there any reason you might be asking? And what do they now do? Many of them now tell you the truth, which is, well, you know, I mean, we've been reading a lot and seeing what's going on in the press, and my friends, sisters, best friend's cousin told me that we probably shouldn't sell right now and we should wait for interest rates to drop, and that would be a better time. And we kind of like our house, but we're not sure about whether we might make a move, but it's definitely not our forever house. And they just unpack this mess. Can you help them untangle that mess once they unpack it? Find some clarity about what they're looking to do. See, the rest of the industry is looking to help people who are in the final mile. They've already decided they want to sell. They already decided they want to buy. And they're trying to help them that they want to close in 30, 60, 90. Your opportunity exists in all the people that are thinking about possibly, potentially, perhaps making a move. Find those people. Your response to the how's the market question will help you find those people ahead of time. When you meet somebody in that environment that says, well, I'm not sure whether we're going to stay here. We bought this house in 21 and we kind of bought it in a hurry, and we got a low interest rate, but I don't love the house, and it's not as close to where I'd like to be as I'd like to be, but it's not too far away to cause me too much of a problem, and we think we might make a move, but I don't know whether we should make a move. How helpful can you be to that person? Very darn helpful, correct? The whole industry does not know how to respond to the how's the market question. Can you see how that tiny response to that one very simple moment would have a massive impact upon your success of many of your weekly interactions? Let's unpack another one and just show you how incompetent we really are collectively. See, I'm not picking on any one of you. It's just all of you at the exact same time. And I was looking at the stats yesterday that were up in the program that we watched with Gary, right? And Jason and Jay, and they were showing us some really useful insights and information. And one of the pieces of information and insights that stood out to me massively was the demand for consumers to get back involved with open houses. That, like, differential change was phenomenal to me, seeing that people want to go and show up at open houses. So that to me is like alarm bell, alarm bell, alarm bell. How good are we really at open houses? So let's remember, when is the worst time to think about the thing you're going to say? We know we're going to do open houses, and we know that if we do our job somewhere near reasonably right, somebody, or hopefully more than somebody, might show up, correct? So somebody shows up to the open house, and they're walking in, and they're coming through the front door. What do you say?
Hello.
Hi.
I say hi and welcome them, and then usually I ask how they found out.
Not what you do, we're doing it right now. I'm walking in.
Hi.
Hi.
I don't know, I'm nervous. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Let's just take a beat on this for a second. Next time I put somebody on the spot, stand up so people can see you. Let's just analyze that question, the how are you question. How often are you asked the how are you question that you respond to by telling the truth? Like never. We almost always lie. We just placate a response, right? Something that's reasonable. And what happens is you say, hey, how are you? And let's role play this out, right? So you say this. Let's do this in real time. Stand up. You say hi. I say hi. You say, how are you? And
how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
What brought you in today?
Ah, isn't it funny we were going to get to that question? Look how predictable this source code is. What brought me in today? Well, I came in my car.
Did you hear about the open house from social media sites, or did somebody refer you to come to see this one?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Are there any questions I can answer for you? Feel free to walk around.
Thanks. Appreciate it. You here to make the coffee, or?
Cream or sugar?
This scenario that's happened here, right? How often does this happen? All the time, right? This is not your fault, right? This is not your fault, Mercy. Like, this is definitely not your issue. This is an industry-wide issue. Because what we are is we are not competent because you've not been trained, because nobody taught us the consequences of just being pleasant in this environment. How many times have you walked into a store, like a retail environment, and you walk into a retail environment And in walking into that retail environment, somebody asks you a question when you walk through the door, right? What do they ask you? Like, hey, can I help you with anything? Are you looking for anything specific? And what do you say? No. Even if you are like on a mission to find a thing that you have no idea how to find, you still say, no, 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 I got this. The trouble is, we know this happens, but we're asking questions that are guaranteeing us pushback response in open houses. We say, hey, how are you? And their inside voice says, well, I don't know you well enough to tell you the truth, so I'm going to lie. We then say, what brought you here? And they're like, that's a freaking stupid question. Inside voice says, well, I just was coming by with the kids or my car, or what brought me here? I mean, I don't know. How do you answer that question? Like, what does that even mean? Doesn't make any sense when we put this under the microscope, right? I'm a firm believer of every word that leaves your mouth is helping or hurting. Let me repeat, every word that leaves your mouth is either helping or hurting. Nothing is neutral. What that means is if what you're saying is neutral, it was a waste. Wasn't helpful in any way, shape, or form. So when we say what brought you here, that is actually subtracting from your success. See, what now happens in the open house, I'm going to keep playing this because you're so good at giving me an industry, like, broad response here. I didn't even ask you to, but this is perfect.
So glad I could help.
So what happens is you've sent me into the house, right? And I'm looking around and you've told me you're good for coffee, and I have a little look around, and I've poked around a little, and I've come back and I'm like, hey, thanks. And you say what? As I'm leaving.
I mean, if your body language is like that, yeah, I just say bye. Thank you
You just
for
say
coming.
straight up bye, okay?
Well, thank you for coming, probably. And
Okay. Do you have any questions? There's another stupid question to ban. What do I think of the house? Would I like to write an offer on this house that I've just shown you every body language means that I probably never want to step in this house again, even if a dear friend owns it? What am I looking for? Like, we are terrible. Can I give you some feedback? Do you want me to get this microphone like closer to the speaker so that it gives you feedback? What did I like about the house the most? That I'm not in it anymore. Okay. Are you looking to sell the house or help the person? Why do you keep talking about the house? Because you don't know what to say in that moment. And I'm not saying you're doing anything mean. There's just a collective incompetence. We need to raise the skills up, right? That's what needs to happen. But say I showed a little interest in the house. What other questions do you ask? Are you working with an agent? Now I think, oh, what do I say? Yes! Oh, dang! I walked myself straight into a cul-de-sac. Oh, now we got interrogation. Can you tell me who you're working with then? I mean, geez, like this is like a no pressure. I just came to look at the house. Are we catching this? See, what happens is nobody says if you just spoke to me differently, we could have started a really meaningful relationship that would allow us to be able to go on a home search journey together, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. Instead, what we try to do is to use a moment that was almost certain to not result in a transaction in that moment and try to force them to have a transaction to buy a thing that we're almost certain they're not going to be able to buy, and then show them how we are not useful to them. This is what is happening on repeat, right? Which is why, to me, yesterday, I'm like, this is the biggest opportunity right now. If we can get really good at open houses, we can own our markets. Because you know the most beautiful thing about open houses? People show up there before they're ready. Which means you can get them before they do that thing that we all hate. And the thing that we all hate is when the people that we could help buy houses or sell houses are up late at night, and it's 10:27 p.m. and they're doing what I'm calling Merlot-induced Zillow porn. And they click a button that then results on them being in somebody else's lead list. And you've already met that person 3 times. Yet what they found is that Merlot-induced Zillow porn was more useful than you. And I know it hurts, I just think it's important sometimes to understand the truth, and that if we want to control the outcomes we're looking for, own the narrative. Own the narrative. So should we re-look at this open house scenario and see what we can do to change things? Would you like to catch this like word perfect in a way that you can put it into place as early as the first day back? Okay. So the first question I'm going to ask them as they come through the door is, so where did you travel from to be here today? Their inside voice kicks up and goes, I know this one! That wasn't hard at all! And they just tell you the truth. And what do they share with you is, I live in the neighborhood, we were passing by, we thought we'd stop in. Or they say, well, you know, we've been considering relocating towards the area. We took a drive across from 3 towns over to come and take a look at a few other open houses today. Or they say that, you know, we live 3 blocks over and we've been looking for anything that comes over here. Or they just tell you they're a straight up nosy neighbor. Now, are any of those scenarios you can't help? How likely are the people you meet in an open house to complete on a real estate transaction at some point in the next decade? Somewhere like most of them. So everyone's a red hot prospect, correct? So we asked them where have they traveled from, and they tell us. Now they stepped into the house after telling you the story about where it is that they've traveled from. What do they want to do? Look at the house. So anything that you do that stands in their way of looking at the house makes you less than helpful. So what we need to do is to help them understand how to look at the house. So you send them on a treasure hunt. What do I mean by a treasure hunt? Take 2 things that you know about a small property, 3 things that you know about a slightly bigger property, 4 things that you know about a mansion, 5 things that you know about a country estate, and tell them to go find them. What does that look like? Tiny house, you can look for 2 things. Normal size house, 3 things. If it's somewhere like a big family home, 4 things. Country estate, 5 things. So just going to pick a number of things that you're going to send people to go look for. What does that look like in language? It looks like, hey, when you're looking around upstairs, be sure to open the closets in the master bedroom. What they've done up there is exquisite. And when you're out in the yard, be sure to look back up at the house, because what they've done on that top ridge with that balcony is really worth checking out. Just give them a couple of things to go find. Because what does that do? It shows them that you know the property without you saying, I know the property. It doesn't say, any questions you have, please don't hesitate to ask. It sets you up for success, and it says, go fly, little bird, go enjoy. What you then do is they're about to step away,